Hello everybody, can you hear me okay? Welcome to this first live stream after I reached 1,000 subscribers. I'm so happy. For 13 months I've been working my butt off to get to this stage. Uh-oh. The sound is still on here. Yes, that's better. So, I want to take you through everything that happened to me in the span of those 13 months that I started with my first video to where I am now. Then I want to talk to you about the free practice sessions today. And then I want to go on to do some predictions. In the meantime, every once in a while I'll just check with the chat. You know, I hope you guys can keep me going. And we're gonna make this a fun little live stream. I haven't got much experience on it. The last 2 weeks I have been practicing on my TikTok channel, which is very easy because you just put your phone down and you start going live. Hello Calimero, welcome. You know what's fun? If you come in to say hi in the chat, tell me where you're from so I can greet you maybe in your own language. So what happened? I've mentioned before that I had a drinking problem for a long time. And in 2014 I quit drinking with help of the AA, but I needed something to fill in the gap of not drinking. So I bought a German Shepherd puppy. And for 8.5 years, me and Hugo Stickledge were the bestest of friends. Hi, Gentiles. I went to all kinds of courses with him, and you know, every day I was out walking with him, and you know, he got me through the hardest part of my journey into sobriety. So last year in November, Hugo had a tumor, and we had to put him down. Hello, Beth. So I had to put the dog down, and by that time I already started this YouTube channel just for a laugh. I was watching an awful lot of YouTube videos from WTF1 at the time, still with Tommy and Matt, and I also watched a lot of The Race. I watched Tomo, well, you name them. I watched all kinds of videos, and I thought at some point, hey, I can do that too. Now, one thing that annoyed me is that all these English YouTubers are a little bit biased. So they're all rooting for Lewis Hamilton, whereas I was rooting for Max Verstappen, obviously. So I thought I'm going to make a channel for myself, but a little bit more pro Max Verstappen. And I'm going to do it. You know, I'm going to pick things from all different kinds of YouTubers and make it my own. So I uploaded my first video. It was, oh my god, it was the worst thing you've ever seen. It's still on my channel. It's the only old video that I haven't hidden yet. But I had the camera upside down, and I was just talking really slowly, and there was no energy. You know, I was talking more like that Australian YouTuber, what do you call him, Persimmon, which is nothing wrong with him, you know, he's very successful as well. So I wanted to develop my own style, and I started watching all these YouTube instruction videos. Now, as the months passed, with help from my Twitter community, I started growing a few subscribers here and there, and I asked some family, and I asked some friends, you know, and started growing, and then my videos got a little bit better. Then I started using a edit program instead of my old computer with Windows Movie Maker. I started using what do you call it again? InShot. Started using InShot to edit my videos, and that made it look a little bit better. And then it's perspective, Beth. That's right. And then at some point, I made friends with Jason Hassett from Wheel Sports. Now, to this day, I don't know what this guy saw in me because my videos were terrible. But he asked me to do a podcast with him the start of this year. And he was helping me throughout, you know, and he's never been negative about my videos, even though they were terrible. I asked him about that last week. I said, why were you never really critical about my my videos? And he said, if I had given you the full load of everything that was wrong with your videos, then you probably would have quit because nothing was right. So, you know, one by one, he was sort of pushing me and keeping me motivated. And my videos got better, and you could see it in the views. You know, at one point my highest video was 350 views, and then another big video was 500 views, and then I had some really terrible ones again, and then I had some better ones again. But then one thing that kept happening was that people started complaining about the audio. So I had this cheap microphone from you know, a really cheap shop called The Action. It was an €8 microphone, and I started using OBS, which is a streaming program, and you know, I put a few fixes on that, and that made my volume or my audio a little bit better. And then I bought these clip-ons microphones, and that made it a little bit better again. And all this time I was learning to do better videos, and you know, trying to improve my thumbnails, improve my writing skills, improve my presentation. At the time I was still using a teleprompter, so I was looking in the camera and then reading out all the text that I've done. But the camera, you know, the reversed camera, to use that thing, it didn't look so good. I bought a new phone to record my my videos. You know, I went from an old Samsung Galaxy to a Google Pixel 7, and I'm very happy with that. You know, you can see around me in the background how I can make things sort of blurry, and you know, it's all very sharp, you know. So that was another improvement. I started collaborating with other YouTubers. One of the most important collaborations I had, and not because of the results I had with it, but what he taught me, was the collaboration with Peter Brook. Now, Peter Brook makes these really long documentary style videos. Hey Marco! Bedankt hè! That's my brother. Beth. Beth just said, the content and the opinion have always been interesting. That's why we keep coming back. That's nice to hear. So, where was I? Peter Brook. Now, Peter Brook makes these really long, stretched out, documentary style videos. You know, he does these iceberg videos. They last about 2.5 hours. He done a video on the career of Sebastian Vettel that lasted a couple hours. He gets 1 million views on those. But still, with his 25k subscribers, he was willing to help me out. So I wrote a script for a video called 5 times teams treated their drivers badly, something like that. And he gave me a few pointers of, you know, situations, and I sort of looked it up, wrote the story, and I did 3 of them and he did 2 of them, and I edited it, and the plan was to put it on both our channels, which isn't allowed, but you know, he changed something at the start. That's why it was a different video, and that's why he was allowed to have it on his channel. But before he put it on his channel, he sent it back. He said, oh, hey, Gentilis, I forgot to say hi to you. That's Richard, right? So Peter Brook, he was very strict. He goes, some of the photos you used were blurry, so you need to find better high resolution photos for that. I said, okay. So got the video back again and started editing again. Spent another couple hours on it. Sent it back to him, and he goes, yeah, but some of the pictures you're using now still have logos on them from where you got them. You know, some of them have race fans on it, or the race, or whatever. Oh, okay. Double high. So he wasn't happy until I fixed everything on that video. And me, you know, my personality is kind of, I want to rush things. You know, I don't have much patience. So what he taught me is to take your time and edit it properly, because, you know, if the quality is higher, then people will appreciate your videos more. And yeah, he put it on his channel, and through him I gained something like 60 subscribers, which has never happened to me in 1 week before, you know, at that time. So that was great. Then months went by. There was this little while where I lost my channel because YouTube thought that my content was against regulations of YouTube, and it took 3 weeks. Nearly 3 weeks before they had it fixed, that they realized it was a mistake. And at that time, I knew I was going to keep going with YouTube, because I missed it. I missed it an awful lot. So, yeah, after that, I had another collaboration with FP1 Will. And by that time, my editing was a little bit better, and I think I had another microphone, and he taught me one thing, and that was to put a little bit more humor in it. You know, his videos, they're filled with one-liners. You know, he would say things like, oh, Mick Schumacher was doing his thing again, crashing into the wall, called the Mick Schumacher swing, or no, the Mick Schumacher split, because you know, he kept crashing and splitting cars in half. And all these little things to make a video a little bit more entertaining and a little bit more edgy. That's what he taught me. And that video done, the video I done with him was the 5 biggest cases of karma in F1, with the number 1 being a banger. You know, it was Lewis Hamilton celebrating his win in Silverstone 21. After he put Max Verstappen in the wall, and then especially the running around with his flags like he won the championship. Oh, I got a question. Do you watch Rocket Powered Mohawk 2? Yes, I watch Rocket Powered Mohawk. The nerve! Disgusting! But he's a little bit too big to do a collaboration, and I don't think I've ever seen him do a collaboration. But he's close with FP1 Will, because I saw him in his chat of FP1's Will's latest comedy review, the Las Vegas comedy review. So they know each other, so he might know me as well. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, FP1 Will. He taught me how to be a little bit more funny. I'm very close with Sharan, which is a boy from India who writes for Sportskeeda, and has a channel called the Casual F1 Fan. I'm going to read out a tweet. Comment. Patrick Riku. Congrats on everything, Wimbo. This is just the beginning. Thanks, Patrick. And remember, we're going to do a collaboration as well. Because so far, I haven't worked with any Americans yet. You know, I've been let down by about 3 or 4 of them. People saying, yeah, I'd love to work with you. And then in the end, it's like, no, sorry, you have to take a rain check. I've got 4 rain checks now. Don't know what to do with them all. And then Keith Williams. First saw you with Jason from Wheel Sports. Have enjoyed watching you grow, and improve. You're doing great. Well, you know, these things, you know, especially before I was monetized, those were the things that kept me going, honestly. So, yeah, it's lovely to hear from you, Keith. Super duper. So, but Sharon, I did a few podcasts with him, and that was a learning thing as well. So, what are my goals? Well, I've got 1K now. Actually, I've got 1.1K because my latest video gained me like 120 subscribers all of a sudden. The Jos Verstappen video. Oh, Patrick. I didn't know you're Canadian. But you know, Canadians are Americans too. Do you want to hear the logic behind that? Well, if I'm from the Netherlands, and that's in West Europe, that makes me a European. Now, if you're from Canada, which is in North America, you're an American. You're just a more polite American without the guns. Oh yeah, my goals. So the next thing I want to do is reach 5K. I would love for people to become members of my channel as well. You know, I've got memberships open for $2.99 a month. On that channel, you'll get videos earlier. I'll be filming some behind the scenes videos about, you know, my process of making the videos, the writing, yeah, just my personal life, you know. I'll probably be doing a separate little live chats, and yeah, it's just a little bit extra, but most of it is just to support me, because I'll be saving up for a new camera. You know, I love working with my Pixel 7, but you know, I want to make enough money to buy a decent, a half decent camera. You know, my taste is not that expensive, but it'll be like a Sony camera costing about 700, 800 euros. So, so if you want to support my channel and you can spare that little bit of money, then the option is open to become a member. And also in the chat here, you can send me super thanks and little stickers and whatever, and I get a third of what that's costing as well. So, you know, if you want to support me a tiny little bit, then I think that's a way to support me as well, if you want and if you can spare it. If not, you know, from next week on, I'll be getting money from my the commercials that are played. So one favor I have to ask you is, if you watch one of my longer videos and there's advertisement in the middle and before the video starts, don't click them away. Yeah, just take that minute. You know, go watch something on your phone while the video's on the TV, but watch the commercials, because I'll be getting my money through that. Okay, that's enough about money. What is Windmollenjongen saying? Oh, they're talking. Just keep talking amongst yourselves. Yes? So my goals. Now, my ultimate goal is to go to more races and do vlogs about the races that I visit. You know, on my wish list is to go to Japan, because I hear that country is so weird and so clean and so organized, and people are so polite. So that's something I definitely want to see. The racetrack Suzuka is also amazing, so that's something I want to enjoy. Another thing is that I want to go to Austin. You know, I've never been in the United States, and with me being a film fan, you know, besides being a Formula 1 fan, I need to go to certain places in America. I want to see Boston. I want to see New York. I want to see LA, you know. So that's another thing that I'm going to be using the money for, that I'm hoping to be making with my YouTube channel. Yeah, and in the meantime, I just want to pop out 2-3 videos a week. If this if this live streaming is going okay, then I'm thinking about making this a Friday evening routine. You know, just do it most Friday nights. I once watched a live stream of a YouTuber also from Canada, Patrick. You might know him. He's a Fortnite YouTuber. I forgot his name. Oh, Typical Gamer. Typical Gamer. But one crazy evening, he was not Fortniting. He was just sitting chatting with people, and then he went on Twitter, and he started ratioing all the other the other YouTubers, the other Fortnite YouTubers, and they didn't understand what he was doing because all these ratio tweets, they got loads and loads of likes because he was winding up his fan base who were watching the live stream. So he would go to Ninja, and Ninja had said something like, "Oh my god, I'm so glad the pump is back," and then he would say, "Well, pump this ratio," and yeah, it got like tens of thousands of likes, and he's like, "Why are you doing this?" And I want to do that. I want to do that on a live stream when I have like 100 people or 150 people watching, and then go to one of those Team LH nutcases, preferably one that hasn't blocked me, which isn't many, and then just go, well, ratio these nuts, and then my whole community will come together and ratio the hell out of that tweet. So that's a plan I have in the future, but let's see how that goes. What else do I want to do? Well, next year I want to be lining up for my Wimbo Worldwide podcast more famous people. I've been talking to some of them. They've said so far yes, but I've got a lot more on my wish list of people to have a podcast with. I'll be delving into ways to make those podcasts better and to edit them better, because usually I just press record and then the whole recording will go on my channel, and yeah, that's actually not the way it works. You know, that's not the way it should be done. You know, the best podcasts on YouTube are with zoom ins and, you know, focus on one person talking and the other one listening, and then, you know, facial expressions, and that's something I want to dive into and spend more time on to get my podcast better, because my podcasts, they only get like between 100 and 200 views, and yeah, I definitely want to improve that. So that's a goal. Yeah, what's another goal? So far I'm having so much fun just doing what I'm doing. You know, I get inspired by the events of the Formula One, especially the sort of political ones. You know, I keep saving articles that I read where there's a potential video in it. Like I was very interested in the things that Checo had to say about next year. You know, that he wants to go for a championship again. And on one hand, I'm laughing at him because you know, he's been saying that for 3 seasons. But on the other hand, you know, if you're that age, and you want to motivate yourself to go to 24 races in a season and do all the sprint races and all the PR stuff, then you might have to tell yourself there's more in it than becoming second with only 2 wins. You know? So I totally agree with them. So that might be a video after the weekend. If something really crazy happens this weekend, then that might be the video. I had a real laugh with what I've been calling Seat Gate. The potential seat, or the potential request for a seat by Lewis Hamilton to Red Bull, which Lewis Hamilton is denying. And he's denying it in the only way that Lewis Hamilton can, by sort of spinning 3 different stories and coming across really, really badly. And Christian Horner is just smirking because, yeah, he's got a result. He's got the whole of Team LH wound up. And that means that they're not talking about Abu Dhabi 21. I don't know if it's trending yet, but yeah, it's about time that they're leaving that alone a little bit. So that might be a video. Yeah, I think I've discussed everything that I wanted to discuss about the channel reaching 1,000 subscribers. I just want to thank all of you, especially people like Beth who've been there from really early. I'm missing Henk or Mel, but he might watch it later. So Henk, thank you for your support. I want to thank my wife Samantha, who kept believing in me. And yeah, I'm just really having fun doing this, and I don't care putting 20 hours in a video and not getting anything back from it yet. So guys, what did you think about the free practice sessions? Free practice session number 1 had 10 rookies in it, and you know, that Frederick Vesti, he done a really good job. You know, where he put the car, George Russell had at the fastest time, so the Mercedes looked quick in FP1. Yeah, there's not much you can say. You know, the two Red Bull kids, they finished side by side. Let's go to 2K subs. Yeah, definitely. And I keep hearing from my YouTube friends that as soon as you hit 1K, then 2, 3, 4K is done really quickly. You know, that'll take a few months. You know, the hardest is to get to the 1,000. Well, it's been a pleasure for me too, Beth. FP... Oh, more music. So FP2 was a little bit more... there was a little bit more happening. A red flag caused by Carlos Sainz. You know, William, thank you very much for everything. You know, for all the videos that you've watched, even though you don't like Formula 1. Okay? And Declan, thank you as well. Don't know if you're watching, I doubt it, but you know, you can pass on the message, Samantha. Back to FP2. Carlos Sainz caused another red flag. Now, I don't know if the two Ferrari drivers are just really unlucky. You know, Charles Leclerc keeps saying, like, why am I so unlucky? And I understand that, because if you put the car on pole and then you don't even make it to the start because the hydraulics fail, then that's pretty unlucky. Yes, Beth, there were 2 red flags. As soon as the session got started again, after Sainz's... Thank you, Striver, for success. Ah, namaste. Is that what you say in India? Namaste. So yeah, as soon as the red flag was solved, Nico Hulkenberg put it in the wall, and we had another red flag. Then, you know, to get more time out of FP2, Max Verstappen decided to pass a few people, which is totally allowed, except Crofty and the other Sky Sports commentators, they didn't think it was necessary. Yeah, that's a good point, Win Mollenjongen. He says, big hit for Sainz. I did wonder whether his gearbox would be shot given the direct L rear hit. If he takes another gearbox, he probably has another penalty. Grid penalty. So that's not good. Hey, Striver for Success. Did you know I always translate or put subtitles on my videos in Hindi? Because that's more for my my Indian people in the community. So, but do you think there's another? Because in India there's lots of languages. There's another language that I should put my subtitles in. Okay, Beth Griffins. Princess George had a bit of a whinge about Max passing him in the pit out. Yes, of course. Of course George Russell had a whinge about it. That's all he does. But yeah, the rules have changed, and you can pass people there, especially if they're driving slow. And actually, if you're driving slow, you should be more on the left-hand side, so people you can pass you on the right-hand side. Hey, Steve. Welcome. Now, Steve, you're an American, right? Because I called Patrick an American, and he's actually Canadian. So Gentilis says, I read Ferrari might be in trouble with the cost cap because of the Las Vegas drain cover. And he says lots of repair cost for Ferrari. Yeah, that's all true. And I think Fred Vasseur is fighting the FIA over they're fighting over the cost, and I think Haas and another team have received money from the FIA as to cover cost of the track being the cause of costs. So they should be they should be okay and getting that money from the FIA. But yeah, if they keep crashing like Sainz did today, then they might go over it just because they keep crashing themselves. Striver for Success. No, I don't remember noticing that. There are many languages, yes. Maybe you could benefit from subtitles in Tamil or Telugu languages, but as coverage of F1 is quite low in Indian languages. Most viewers from India would be conversant in English. Yeah, well, it's just subtitles. So if they click CC and they click on Hindi, then they can hear me talking English, and they'll have the subtitles as a backup, which is nice. Beth Griffiths. Russell and Ham formed a moving chicane to make it difficult for Max to get out on the track. In front of them, wankers. Beth has a way with words, people. So, keep that in mind. I always say, you're either a wanker or a liar. You know? So, yeah, they all play silly games, and then Max just steps on the throttle and goes past them, and then leaves everybody to moan about it. And then in the press conference afterwards, or interviews, he just goes, yeah, they're all driving slowly, so I passed them. I don't know what the big deal is. And I love that. Steve Tadman, what did you make of David Croft immediately going on the attack of Max with regard to the pit exit? For me, it was a little bit like True Colors. Well, personally, you know, seeing where Max is, the last race of the season, he had the most wins, he has the most points, he has the most laps in the lead. You know, it would be far easier for him to just wait in line until it's time for him to go on track and then do his routine. But he's so gung-ho. He's just, what are they doing? Let's report that. You know, he's telling GP, or I don't think it was GP this time, but he was telling his engineer to report the behavior. And it's all a bit unnecessary in the last race where you've won everything already. But that's just Max, you know. And yeah, they're, you know, the Sky Sport commentators are diving onto it because finally something happening. And it looked a bit weird, him still being so gung-ho, even though everything's already set and done, you know. So I agree on one hand, and on the other hand, obviously, if Max does something wrong, they'll blame it on Max. If Lewis Hamilton does something wrong, they'll blame it on the FIA. That's the rule, you know. Okay, Patrick Ricciu. Besides the pain that comes with being a Ferrari fan, at least we know for sure that every weekend will be eventful. Something always happens. Yes, there's every Formula One weekend has their own narratives, and something will always happen, especially with Max on track. Uh, Lewis Hamilton fans they keep saying like the sport will change once he's gone, but I think Max Verstappen will be missed far more, because ever since he was 17 and joined the grid, he's always been the same source of entertainment one way or another, whether you bash on him or whether you enjoy his overtakes or his defending or anything. So, Windmolenjongen. One of the funniest cold tweets I saw this afternoon in the whole Horner Ham thing was that Hamilton only opened and recharged his old phone to find old tweets, instas, from his dog, aka Roscoe. Yeah. Yeah, that's another way you can tell that that Lewis Hamilton is lying. He's like, yeah, my team hasn't spoken to Christian Horner, and I haven't spoken to Christian Horner in years, and I opened up my old phone and I saw some messages from Christian to me whether I wanted to join Red Bull. So those three stories, and you pick the best one, yeah. Yeah, Hamilton has been taking lessons in bullshit from Toto, definitely. Steve Tadman says the pit exit was completely legal, and that's 100% true as well. Okay, let's move on. Prediction time. Call out your top 3 in qualifying. I think it's going to be Leclerc P1, Verstappen P2, Lando Norris P3. Ooh, I'm going to write that down. Lec, Max, Lando. What are your predictions? Hello, Rob. Where are you from, Rob? Okay, Windmolenjongen, Leclerc, Max Verstappen, Norris. Yeah, that's what I said. Steve Tadman. Jake Dennis comments about Max was telling. I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was something along the likes of Max is special. He said it like he was in awe. Well, he said that the RB19 does everything that a race car needs to do, but it's the driver that gets the most out of it and makes it special. Which was a big tribute to Max Verstappen. I tweeted about it. Oh, Rob. Je bent ook een Nederlander. Welkom. Oh, Patrick, you're going? So, Patrick Ricciu thinks 1 Leclerc, 2 Verstappen, 3 Perez. Okay, good prediction. Patrick, good luck with your studying, and make sure you get those diplomas in, or your whatever you want to get out of your study. And we'll definitely do something together soon. Maybe we can do one of those streams together. That's fun. Gentilis says Charles, Lando, and Max. Yeah, that's a good one as well. Keith Williams says, yes, Max, Leclerc, and Norris. Mercedes don't look that quick. And Samantha says goodbye to Patrick. Windmolenjongen says, unfortunately, Mercedes will just get P2 in the Constructors. As much as I'd like to see Ferrari get there. Well, I made a prediction video about a year ago. This was a prediction video before testing where I thought everybody was going to be. Um, I was off with Aston Martin. I think I had them in P7. And I was off on Williams. I had them as last. But I had Red Bull number 1 and Ferrari number 2 and Mercedes number 3. So, yeah, for my honor, it would be good if Mercedes were beaten by Ferrari. So that's what I'm hoping for. Steve Tadman wants to know, what is that you say as a goodbye at the end of your video? Okay, well, doei is an informal way of saying bye, or, in England they would say cheerio, or, you know how Tomo always says, ta-da, mate, ta-da. So doei is an informal way of saying goodbye. People have been saying it for years in Holland, but there was a commercial on TV from the two Coronel brothers. There's two twins. There's twin brothers who drive the Dakar Rally every year. I done a podcast with one of them. It's Tim and Tom Coronel, and I done a podcast with Tim Coronel. And in the advertising they did, in the commercial they did, it was for an insurance company, and everything. Every time a case was solved of their insurance, they would say, "Doei doei." And I copied that, and I asked him if it was okay to use it, and he said it was okay. So I've got permission. Okay, let's get back to racing. Qualifying. No, let's leave the qualifying alone now. We've done the predictions. The race. Yeah, it would be very silly not to have Max as a winner, because in the old days you could count on Max having an accident, at least once every 5 races. But ever since, I don't know, 2019, that doesn't happen anymore either. And then there's the reliability of the engine in the cars, and they don't break down. Max hasn't had a single DNF all season, whereas in 22 he started with 2 DNFs, which was pretty bad. So yeah. Hey, Super Sluber. Welcome. Where are you from? I'm reading all these new names. Steve Tadman says race pace. Yeah, see, I keep saying this in videos as well. I'm not much of a technical YouTuber. I'm not one to look at the data of long runs and such. There's other YouTubers that dive into that. I just go on vibes, and often these data YouTubers, they get it wrong as well, because conditions change from Friday to Sunday. So that's another thing that that they're not always correct. Afterwards, they're always correct. They show these statistics with an orange line for McLaren and a blue line for Red Bull, and they just show how quick everybody is. Ah, there's Jason. Jason, now that you're here, I want to thank you for all the help you've been giving me in the last 13 months. For always having my back, even though my videos were completely crap. Your positive vibes kept me going. And yeah, I owe you one. So, thanks, Jason. I'm getting emotional. So yeah, do you want me to step aside so you can appreciate my my background? You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You're an idiot. Oh, that was a nice shot. I'm sorry about that, people. I should have pulled up my pants. Well, that's true, Jason. I've seen some changes in your content as well, and it might be thanks to me as well. So, um, okay, Steve Tadman. What do we make of Saints incident? I know there's a bump mid corner, but it looked like an odd and sudden loss of grip. Ferrari specific or something that will affect all. Oh, by the way, Jason is my first and only member of the channel. So, big up to Jason from Wheel Sports. Um, yeah, it's much appreciated, Jason. And we're only getting started. We're only getting started with all the content. It's going to be much better. See you later, Jason. Doei doei. So yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about the race, and then I'm gonna close it off. It's almost an hour that I've been streaming already. Guys, what do you think about the McLaren Aston Martin battle? Is McLaren or Aston Martin gonna come on top of them? The problem with Aston Martin is that they basically only have one proper driver. Although I have to say that Lance Stroll has been better the last two races. On the other hand, McLaren has been very unlucky with Norris having that accident, and then Piastri having a bit of a weird race with a flat tire and only scoring 1 point. So that's definitely a narrative of the Sunday race that we need to pay attention to as well. The Aston Martin McLaren battle. So we've got Mercedes versus Ferrari, and we've got Aston Martin versus McLaren. I actually don't care who comes on top with the Aston Martin or McLaren battle. You know, they both have my sympathy. Fernando Alonso can break the all-time, the P4 of most podiums. He can steal that from Alain Prost. So, Windmolenjongen says his head says Aston Martin, but in his heart he says McLaren. Yeah, it's a really hard one for me. Now, I honestly can't say. I just hope they all have a really good race. It would be awesome if the two drivers race each other. Beth! You're a member! Thank you so much, Beth. Really appreciate it. I'm emotional. Thank you so much. You're a legend. Steve Tadman says McLaren seems more reliable, collecting points in the second half of the year, but Aston have Alonso. Yeah, an Alonso podium would be awesome. So, what's another narrative? Is Williams fighting AlphaTauri still a battle? How close are they to each other? They only have one driver as well with Alex Albon. He's had such a good season, Alex Albon. You know, he's really come to the right place. I also really admire James Vowles. Oh my God, see that man talk. You know, I'm doing a live stream for an hour now, and I'm looking for words, and I'm finding ways to express myself. But that man just, oh yeah, you see, the thing is that you know, with the extra downforce they have, and blah 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 blah. Just, yeah, he's really good. And did you guys see the Braun documentary on Disney Plus yet? Because James Vowles was in the Braun team as well, that won that championship in 2009 with Jenson Button. A lot of familiar faces are in that documentary. I really enjoyed it. What's another narrative for the Sunday Grand Prix? Ocon versus Gasly. Hey, Robert! Robert de Jong is with us. I'm nearly done, Robert. I'm sorry. But I've been yapping for 55 minutes now, so but I'll definitely, you know, see what the number of people have been watching. 10, 11, 12 people watching. I'm really going to do this more often, and I'm thinking about making it a Friday evening occurrence, you know, from 8 till 9, whenever it's possible and whenever there's no race on. Yeah, Steve, I'm always a little knackered on Sunday, and so I don't think I'll do it after the race. You know, I think Friday night, looking ahead and having a chat, and I'm really looking forward to doing that thing on Twitter, but we'll talk about that later. Justin House. Hello, Justin House, and welcome to my stream. I'm nearly done, so I'm sorry. Where are you from? Anybody got any questions before we lock off? Anybody got a joke they want to tell, or, you know, anything at all? Did you hear about the old man that went to the doctors and he says, I think there's something wrong with my ears. And the doctor says, what are the symptoms? And he goes, well, you've got Homer, and his wife is called Marge, and then he's got a son called Bart. Okay, if nobody's going to say anything in chat. Oh, Houston, Texas. I want to go there. I want to go to the race in Houston, Texas. Oh no, that's Austin. I'm sorry. How far is Houston from Austin? Is it far? Three Mercedes executives walk into a pub. Stroll's the joke. That's right, Samantha. Ta-doom-ts. Oh, it's a 3-hour drive. So that's only around the corner then in Texas. See, if I drive 3 hours from where I live, I'm either in Belgium or in Germany. But yeah, welcome to my community, Justin. And yeah, I'm nearly logging out here, but I really appreciate you coming in for a second to celebrate my 1K goal. Um, so I'll see you next week on Friday, 8 o'clock. Okay, 8 o'clock CET. Write that down. I don't know what time that is in your countries. I know for Beth and for all the British people, it's only 7. Yeah, I'm gonna log off now. So everybody, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it, and I hope to hear from all you guys soon. Take care now. Doei doei.